Welcome to Unsolicited, where I make videos about things that nobody asked me to. The Grammys were this past Sunday and it was definitely eventful, stirring up lots of opinions. I enjoyed this show. I felt like it was one of the best Grammys in a long time. But before we get into it, we gotta talk about what happened before the show even started. Kanye West and his wife Bianca needed to be censored because she decided to show us all her birthday suit on the red carpet. Every time I see this lady, she has no clothes on. It's very interesting. When they showed up, Bianca was wearing a big fur coat and they got on the carpet. They have this little exchange of words, and then Bianca just drops the coat like it's hot while Kanye stands back like, look what I brought to show and tell. People are saying that it looks like she was saying, no, I don't want to do it. They're saying she looks scared, she's being controlled. I just don't understand how someone can allow themselves to be exposed like that, or why a husband who not too long ago was begging his first wife to cover up and was making songs about the Lord can just stand back while his wife bears it all. What's also sickening is that the photographers were eating it up. Like, they continue to take photos of her. If you remember, back when Kanye was in the sunken place, he tweeted out that his kids would never do Playboy and that Hollywood is a giant brothel, and that he's got a corn addiction and corn ruined his family. I also remember him having an issue with North being on TikTok, yet look at the images that he's promoting now. Is this what you want your children to see? He even posted that his wife Bianca is the most Googled person in the world right now, like it's a flex. She's not being Googled for good reasons. It's just so interesting that he wanted Kim to behave a certain way and cover up more, yet he designed a nude sheer dress for his new wife to wear.
Now say that you're not into me wearing a tight dress.
You are my wife, and it affects me when pictures are too sexy.
Boo Boo Kitty also looks pretty similar to Kim. It's almost like he's using her as like a caricature version of Kim. Even the way she turned around and dropped the jacket reminded me of that controversial Paper Magazine shoot that Kim did where she showed us her whole butt. Obviously this whole thing is a stunt to get us talking and create shock value, but it just gives desperation. Like, I just hope that she's doing these things willingly. It's clear that he doesn't respect her, and sadly, she doesn't respect herself. It's sad to watch because she must be an intelligent person. I mean, she has a master's degree in architecture and she used to work at Easy as the head of architecture. Where are her friends, her family? Like, I can't imagine that her parents are cheering her on as she literally shows us everything her mama gave her on the red carpet. There was a rumor going around that Bianca and Kanye were actually escorted out of the Grammys by the cops, which ended up not being true. Kanye even claimed that Don Lemon is the one who started the rumor.
Here's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that Kanye wanted to do the red carpet, that he wasn't invited. That's what I'm hearing from the folks here at the Grammys. And then he left, maybe was escorted out. That's what folks are saying, but I'm not sure. I think maybe he just wanted to do the carpet, but he definitely is gone. I may be the only person who interviewed him, by the way.
He said on Instagram, "This is the goofball that started the rumor that me and my wife are kicked out of the Grammys. 3 decades of innovating music and they always coons like this." And Don Lemon hit back with a video basically saying, I don't know who you're talking to. That MAGA hat must be on. Too tight.
Kanye, Ye, whatever your name is. I did not start a rumor about you being kicked out of the Grammys. I actually corrected it. I saw someone on your team who asked me to correct it because it had been reported everywhere. So, first of all, get your shit straight. And you, of all people, calling me a coon? Negro, that Make America Great Again hat must be too tight on your head.
Anyways, moving on to the show, it was hosted by Trevor Noah, who I felt did a good job. It was nice to see the show centered around the LA fires and raising money to help those who were affected. Doechii so deservingly won Rap Album of the Year and became the 3rd woman since 1989 to win this award, alongside Lauryn Hill and Cardi B. I'm so happy for Doechii. She's so talented, and her acceptance speech was really powerful, super inspiring. I also loved her performance. It was one of the best performances of the night. She's such a dynamic person and she just gives very musical theater vibes. I love her. Sabrina Carpenter won Best Pop Vocal Album for Short and Sweet, which I felt like was deserved. She's super creative and she was everywhere last year. Beyonce won Best Country Album for Cowboy Carter and she was genuinely shook.
Cowboy Carter, Beyonce.
I'm happy for her, especially since the Country Music Awards didn't even consider her, but folks are definitely upset. When Cowboy Carter was originally released, there was lots of discourse about genre, and people were basically trying to tell Beyonce to stay in her lane and that she couldn't make country music because she wasn't country enough or because she's a pop star. A lot of these opinions also had a discriminatory undertone to them, insinuating that because she's a black woman, she can't be a cowboy.
I'm sorry, but if you're black you're not country. I don't care. Like, and I wish I meant that in the nicest way. But, like, babe, I know you were raised in the country, or your grandparents were, I guess, your great granny and grandpas, but they was picking, okay? They wasn't planting. Just keep that in mind. They wasn't making money. They was getting sold for money. You ain't country.
So because of all the criticism Beyonce had to fight through with this album and not being at all recognized at the Country Music Awards, I feel like this moment was very significant for her. I've seen lots of people saying that Beyonce didn't deserve these awards, they didn't like the album, it's not country, it was trash, blah blah blah. All I can say is that's too bad. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but baby, this is not the People's Choice Awards. They kept reiterating at the Grammys that the Recording Academy has 13,000 voting members who look at each body of work and decide who is nominated and votes on who wins. It has nothing to do with streams or popularity, and the Academy decided that the winner was Beyonce, and that's that on that. And personally, I didn't even really listen to Cowboy Carter like that, but I can still give Beyonce her credit, especially since she won Album of the Year for the first time in her very long career. People are also attributing this award to Jay-Z's speech last year at the Grammys, where he basically called out the fact that Beyonce has the record for the most Grammys, but not a single one of them is Album of the Year.
I don't want to embarrass this young lady, but she has more Grammys than everyone and never won Album of the Year. Think about that. The most Grammys, never won Album of the Year. That doesn't work. Some of you gonna go home tonight and feel like you've been robbed. Some of you don't belong in the category. No, when I get nervous, I tell the truth.
I didn't take that speech to be him begging for Beyonce to get Album of the Year. I saw it as him calling out the racial bias that's existed for a long time within the Recording Academy and how black artists in general are not recognized for their talent. Beyonce is the first black woman to win Album of the Year in the past 26 years. The last person was Lauryn Hill in 1999. Is that not a problem? The Weeknd has even boycotted the Grammys in the last few years for the same reason. Surprisingly, he made a return this year though, and Grammy CEO Harvey Mason Jr. made a speech about how the Recording Academy is dedicated to diversity and inclusion and has implemented programs like the Black Music Collective and Women in the Mix. He says the Grammy electorate has added more women, is 40% black, and even has a younger demographic than in the past, which is nice to hear. So many artists have deserved awards in the past, but they were snubbed. Like, can you believe that the Nicki Minaj has not one Grammy? How crazy is that? In other news, Chappell Rowan won Best New Artist, and in her acceptance speech spread an important message about record labels treating their artists properly by giving them a livable wage and health insurance. Random side note, but speaking of Chappell Rowan, I thought it was super crazy disrespectful that these reporters interrupted the Babyface's interview to talk to Chappell.
It's interesting.
Chappell.
You guys want to do that? Go do that.
So sorry, baby. I'm so sorry.
I thought it was so rude. Like, who just cuts somebody off like that and straight up ignores them because somebody they find more interesting walked in? Khloe Kardashian even called the situation out on Instagram, saying, "This is so disrespectful how Babyface was treated in this interview. Babyface has had such a significant impact on the music industry in so many ways. It's maddening to see a legend not get the respect and attention they deserve. He's a pioneer and deserves so much better than this. P.S. Big or small, old or new, you don't treat people like this, at least not in my eyes. There's a way to handle this, and this was wrong, in my opinion." The reporters did do a little weak apology, though, after the fact.
But first I wanted to say that I'm really sorry about interrupting Babyface earlier. Chappell Rowan had come up, and there was a lot of commotion, as there is on these carpets, but I'm a big Babyface fan, and as are we all, and so I just wanted to say that.
Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us made a clean sweep at the Grammys this year, winning 5 awards, including Record of the Year. I feel like this was deserved. That song is a masterpiece. It definitely took over 2024. It's just so infectious, you know, they're not like us, because they're really not. Seeing everyone in the crowd rapping it definitely shows the impact that it had. And it's not just a diss song, like it's just so LA, and the video and everything really shows love to the culture. So shout out to Kendrick. And don't get me wrong, I like Drake, but he really took the biggest L. Fourth thing is suing Universal Music Group for defamation and harassment for promoting Not Like Us. Drake says that Universal launched a campaign to make Not Like Us viral to promote this allegation of him being a PDF file. The cover of the record is a picture of Drake's house using the marker that represents an ex-offender in the neighborhood. Drake is also naming Spotify and iHeartRadio in the suit, claiming they used bots and payola as all a part of a scheme to promote Not Like Us, which may or may not be true. I mean, what Nicki say? Spotify ain't gotta lie, they really streaming my music. UMG responded to Drake's lawsuit saying, "We've invested massively in his music, and our employees around the world have worked tirelessly for many years to help him achieve historic commercial, and personal financial success. Throughout his career, Drake has intentionally and successfully used UMG to distribute his music and poetry to engage in conventionally outrageous back and forth rap battles to express his feelings about other artists. He now seeks to weaponize the legal process to silence an artist's creative expression and to seek damages from UMG for distributing that artist's music. So basically, Universal is saying, oh, so it was cool when we was distributing your music for your little rap battles, but now we distributing not like us, and now you want to sue us. Now it's not cool. Drake has even said in the lawsuit that he's had to remove his son Adonis from elementary school for safety concerns. But even though I do like Drake, I wouldn't say that Drake is a victim in all of this. In his diss record, Family Matters, he insinuated that Kendrick abuses his partner Whitney, and that his kids aren't actually his kids, and are Dave Freeze. So I mean, he made some harmful comments too. But I mean, yeah, if I was Drake, I'd be sick to my stomach too that somebody just won 5 Grammys dissing me. What I also thought was so funny that they really asked Drake's daddy what he thinks about Kendrick's wins. Like, what did you want that man to say?
Gotta ask, what do you think about Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us, getting Record of the Year?
I don't care nothing about that.
No,
that ain't got nothing to do with me. All the best to him, man.
Okay, cool.
I don't do that, fool.
In other Grammy news, Shakira won Best Latin Pop Album and performed, showing us that baby, them hips ain't never lie, and they still don't lie, they never gonna lie. There was a tribute to the late Quincy Jones, with incredible performances by Cynthia Erivo, Stevie Wonder, and Janelle Monáe. Chris Martin also did a tribute to everyone in the music industry who passed this previous year. And I just want to say, I love Taylor Swift at award shows. Like, she be living her best life, singing everybody's songs, dancing. She'd just be so happy to be there. Like, she didn't even win any awards, but she was just happy to be there, and I love that for her. Along with Taylor, Billie Eilish also didn't take home any awards, which I definitely feel like she deserved to win something for her album, especially for Birds of a Feather. Like, that's such a good song. I also was living for Kai Cenat at the Grammys. Like, he was also just happy to be there. It was so funny. Like, he was doing backflips, he met Vybz Kartel, Beyonce, Jay-Z. Love that for him. Anyways, y'all, that's it. That's the video. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. All the things that YouTubers be telling people to do, and I'll see you next time. Bye!